Hi, everybody. This is Kim Griffin from the Mediumship Reading Room. And today I am interviewing Brooke Inman from Washington State. How you doing, Brooke?
I'm doing great. How are you, Kim?
I'm doing good, thank you. This is good because I really know nothing about you or your story or anything. So this is all going to be brand new to me.
Nice.
With some people that I interview, I kind of know their story a little bit, but not everybody else knows the story. So tell me about how you got into mediumship. What's your story, Brooke?
Yeah, definitely. So I think all of us that kind of get into mediumship start from birth a little bit with being a little bit different, a little bit offbeat, a little bit, yeah, you kind of know
Right.
something's going on, right? So I've always been highly psychic, highly intuitive, um, probably due to like a trauma past from a childhood. I feel like a lot of people who have trauma end up having to be hypersensitive to their
Yeah.
surroundings.
Yes.
So, because of that, I was always super sensitive. I could sense people's like intentions and things like that. So I kind of always knew I had something going on. And then, as I got older, I think I didn't push it aside, but there was really, I didn't see any mediums out there. So you didn't think much of it. And then Teresa Caputo came on the television and you start to think to yourself, "Oh, okay, well, people do know what that is then. People understand what that is,
Right.
otherwise they wouldn't be putting it on TV." So that was my first hint or clue that it could be something more. I didn't really dive into it though until I met Cindy Kaza. I started watching her shows online. I'm big paranormal buff, big paranormal fan. So I was watching Holzer Files and I followed her on Facebook. And I saw on Facebook that she was having a beginner's mediumship course. And I thought, well, either I am or I'm not. So let's put this to bed once and for all. So I just took the course kind of almost to talk myself out of the fact that I had any mediumistic abilities and just had some psychic stuff going on that I couldn't do anything with. But I guess I proved myself wrong by going into that space and seeing how subtle mediumship actually is. And I think it fascinated me to think, oh, people can do this. It's just nobody tells you the mechanics of it. Nobody explains it. So you don't
Right.
realize that you can do it, right? So I started there. She was my first major mentor. She suggested Paul Jacobs. So I did a year with Paul Jacobs. And I've done a little bit of this and that with different mentors
Hmm.
throughout. So I've done some mentoring with the Acorn Academy. Paul Jacobs, I took a few classes online with the AFC as well. Natalie Lucia was one of my mentors. So I've had a handful of really great mentors that kind of, I feel like I was able to gain something from each person I learned from because I'm kind of one of those like super absorbers. So I like watch everything that the medium is doing, kind of
Mm.
absorb that. So that's kind of how I got into mediumship. Yeah.
Okay. So, how long have you been doing mediumship?
5 years.
About 5 years? Okay, great,
Hmm.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so what was your biggest obstacle in mediumship, or what still is your biggest obstacle? What
Honest,
was, what is? Could be two
that
different things.
it's like the ever-changing understanding that mediumship is always going to be like this. It's always going to be like a journey. You're never going to have this like homeostasis where you're just like, oh, I'm there. Like it's
Right.
always going to change. And reminding yourself that as you change, your mediumship's going to change. As you grow and heal, your mediumship's going to change. The way you absorb information from the spirit world is going to change. So I think understanding that those ebbs and flows, I better get used to them because they're always going to stick around.
Right. Now I've seen advertisements online. You do demonstrations, and how long
Yeah.
have you been doing public demonstrations?
Probably 2 years.
2 years? Okay.
Two
And you
years.
do them in Washington State, or do you do them in different areas of
I
the
kind of
country?
travel all over. So I do them in Washington State, but I'll be doing two in Minnesota in September. I'll be in Iowa in August. I'll
Oh,
be
wow.
in Minnesota. I mean, not Minnesota, but Missouri in February. So wherever they let me.
Oh, wow. Good for you. So you're traveling with your platform. And how did you get into platform? I will tell you that I remember This years ago when I was at the Journey Within with Janet No Havoc, and I was already doing readings and whatnot, but somebody said go and get hone your ability. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. So, but I did, and it was great, and great experience. But I always thought one on one. I didn't think about doing platform. Now I was used to talking in front of people because of certain circumstances that I had at that particular time. So I was used to talking in front of people. But the one thing that I was afraid of or my fearful was not connecting to somebody. It wasn't a room full of people. It was just not connecting to somebody. But I know a lot of people that when they're like, I never want to do platform. I don't do public speaking. I'm not. And then they get up there and they're like, I like it.
Hmm.
And some people think they're going to like it and they hate it. So
Yeah.
obviously you like it, but what was your experience?
It's funny to me because I knew immediately that's what I wanted to do. I knew immediately that's exactly where I wanted to be. And it was actually private readings that gave me anxiety and private
Okay.
readings that made me feel like, oh my God, am I going to get someone? I think because I started with Cindy Kaza and I spent so much time with her,
Hmm.
watching her from the beginning, I think it molds you watching. I think where you start, the beginning of your mediumship and who you're with is really going to mold kind of your thought process about mediumship. And because Cindy is a platform gallery style medium, I mean, that's what she does. I
Right.
was watching her from the beginning do it, and it fascinated me and it excited me. So I always knew that's what I wanted to do. I was like, that's the ticket. That's what I want. So, yeah.
Oh, well, this is an interesting question, Dan. So who do you like watching as far as I know you just said Cindy, but there was anybody else that you like watching on platform?
Anthony Macra,
Okay.
Lauren Rainbow,
Okay.
Denise Marie.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Yep. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I really, it's funny because I feel like a lot of the mediums out there that I find the most talented are not the ones that are necessarily like out there, like on TV, like Teresa Caputo or Tyler Henry.
Right.
I find like people like Anthony Macra fascinating, Cindy Kaza fascinating. I know I'm forgetting a name, but it's just incredible, the accuracy, and it's something I constantly strive for in my mediumship is okay, I know I have my own style and I know I have my own emotion and I know I have my own flow, but I
Right.
always want to make sure that that evidence is deep. That evidence is I'm cracking open the egg and I'm bringing out everything inside of it that I can, that I'm not leaving anything on the table, so to speak. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So what other modalities do you do? Is it just mediumship? Do you do psychic work, energy healing, anything like that?
I'm I'm a paranormal investigator, so I do
Oh,
like mediumship and psychic work inside of like locations and stuff like that.
okay.
I find that to be fascinating as well because the way I connect to the land and kind of what I'm seeing or time and space and things like that is different. It's totally different than to me than
Right.
when I'm connecting with someone's loved one who's sitting right there and getting a reading from me. So it's a chance to get to do something different and tap into like some of that psychic space, some of that remote viewing space, things of that nature. So I love doing that. I've also been reading tarot. I've been doing that for like 8 years. It was just a
Oh,
way
okay.
for me to connect to
Right.
the spirit world. So I was like, I'm going to learn tarot just for myself and just to, see how that works. And so tarot is like something that's it's like, it doesn't challenge me necessarily anymore.
Right.
So I love mediumship because it's always challenging me. But man, I'll do a quick tarot reading. I love tarot readings.
So you talked about the paranormal investigations. So could you tell us like what was the most strangest one that you had? Now that you brought it up, so now I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah. I'd have to say, It's interesting because my team really consists of we're Earthly Imprint Paranormal is the name of our team, but it's literally me and my fiance, and we travel the
Oh, okay.
country doing investigating. And it's different everywhere, but we get boatloads of evidence, which we both, I think, were fascinated by, how much evidence actually capture at every location. I'm like, I feel like we're just really lucky or something like that. But I guess when we were in Sheboygan, we were at the Sheboygan insane asylum in Wisconsin, and we both saw a full-blown, completely black shadow figure across a doorway, and him and I were both pretty shocked by that. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, and that was first and last time I've ever seen that so far. So,
Oh, wow. That's pretty
yeah.
cool. So when you do these investigations, you go everywhere, like you go to Wisconsin, you go, yeah. What other
Yeah.
states have you
Our
visited?
favorite is Montana. We love Butte,
Really?
Montana. Butte is one of our favorite locations. The Dumas brothel is one of our favorite locations. We've been there 3 times now, I believe. And so we love Montana. It's got a lot of really deep history. I think history that people forget about, how
Right.
deep the history is there.
Right.
Um, so yeah, Montana, Minnesota, Wisconsin. And so we are hoping to spread out some more locations. We in Idaho, we're trying to get into. We've been to the Wallace, the Brooks Hotel in Wallace, which is supposedly very haunted. But we're hoping to go to the Gothic Jail in Louisiana. We have some things that we're kind of trying to set up and in motion now. So we'll be kind of all over the place, in the next year or so.
Oh, wow. Okay. Um, so you said Louisiana. So did you ever think about going down to New Orleans?
Yeah, I would love to go to New Orleans. It's just a little dicey there. My best friend lives in DeRidder, and that's like northwestern Louisiana.
Okay.
But you got to watch your back in New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to watch your back. It's not the safest for even tourists, even in
Oh,
broad
okay.
daylight. So yeah, you got to be careful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I just want to, did you ever think about coming to the East Coast and
would
going
love to.
well, I live right outside of Wilmington, North Carolina. So you may not be familiar with Wilmington, but it has a ton of history, a
Yeah.
ton of history. So there was even, if you look it up, there was a massacre in Wilmington back in 1895. I've been on that street plenty of times because it's 7 miles down the road from me. So
Yeah.
if just look it up. I'm not going to tell the whole story now. It's devastating. It was a complete massacre. And yeah, there's a lot of funky history down there. So there was
Wow.
the Revolutionary War, the
Right.
Civil War. The Union came in, took over some of the big houses there. It's like there's a lot of stuff there. So they
Wow.
do ghost tours and whatnot, but no paranormal investigations or anything like that. I
Yeah.
will tell you though, there is one building. We did the pub crawl one time. My son came down, and so anyhow, behind the pub, so there is the river walk and the Cape Fear River. And then beyond that is the Water Street, it's just a little street. And then there's a Market Street. And then there's all these little stores. And then there's little alleyways in between. And so we were in one of the pubs on Market Street, which is real close to uh, the river walk. And on the river walk is where, at the end of that street, is where they sold the slaves.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yes.
like the
And
auctions and
the
yeah.
auctions and all that. And behind that building, the pub that we were at, he opened up the door and he said, "This is where," and it was a little alleyway. This is where they would separate the families.
Oh my
They would take
goodness.
the children out of the mother's arms.
Oh my
Then they would
goodness.
march them up to yeah. So there's a
That's
lot there. So that would be interesting
yeah.
to
I bet
see.
it's filled with like palpable emotion and a lot of residual stuff. Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. And yeah, well, it's not my interview, but there is I'll tell you another story another time about that. But yeah. It's pretty cool. So,
Wow. I'll
well,
have
I
to
mean,
make
we
my
got
way
to
down
see.
there because the East Coast is on my bucket list just to kind of make my way down the East Coast, you know?
Yeah, like even in New York City. Oh
Yep.
my God.
Yep. Yep.
You get a
I heard
lot
the
of stuff there.
Shanley's really haunted, the Shanley Hotel in New York.
Once, do you know the Shanley Hotel in New York? No, he doesn't know that. He's a New York guy. But where is that located?
You know, I'm not exactly sure. I've heard that they've done a couple events there in the last year. So I'm like, I wonder what and the thing is, as a medium who kind of travels and does the paranormal, even if I hear of a location, I won't look it up. I will stay in the dark. I will purposely stay in the dark
Oh,
because if
okay.
I do go, like, I don't want to know anything. So I saw Shanley Hotel had a handful of events for like haunted, stuff and doing like a haunted event or something. Like I know Cindy was there. She's been there twice now
Oh,
holding
wow.
like a haunted event where she brings people on like a ghost hunt and stuff like that. So I'm like, well, there must be something there, but I'm like, I'm not going to look it up because if I go, I want to see if what I'm feeling is correct, you know? So I always try to keep
Sure.
myself in the dark if I can. Yeah.
Okay. So you teach now, correct? Do you teach?
Yes.
And what do you offer as far as your teachings are concerned?
So for teaching, it's a little bit of everything. So I do one-on-one mentorships where I kind of pull people out of their space and out of their shell and I like to really assess who the person is. And I like to watch them work with what they already have because it shows me where I can pull something else out. Okay, what are they missing? What are
Right.
they not seeing? What exercises can I implement to pull them? And the funny thing is for the meeting for the mentorships, what I notice is a lot of people's block is trust. Just trust.
Right.
That is a huge block for people is the second they learn how to throw it out the window and trust 100%, everything changes. It's like
Right.
you trust them, they trust you, but the second you don't trust, it's a tough game, you know? So I teach a lot of trust exercises, a lot of fun exercises, and I try to assess where people are and watch because I'm very connected with people in that way. It was kind of from my, childhood growing up. I can kind of assess what's going on in there. You know what I mean? What is it I need to work with them on in order to pull them into that trust space, right? So I'll
Right.
do one-on-one mentorships. I also love group classes because I feel like the camaraderie that people build in there is like
Yes,
so
definitely.
huge for
Mhm.
their development, you know?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll do beginners course, I'll do like an intermediate course, just depending on what my schedule is looking like. And I really do everything from the heart.
Oh, what happened? Oh, you froze. She froze up. Oh boy. Let's see if oh boy. I don't know what happened.
Something like brewing. So then I'll just put out a course, um, and I just fly by the seat. It's all spirit led to me. So I'm not a teacher by nature. Like I don't have a teaching background. Everything I
Right.
do literally comes from the spirit world. I trust that they're going to tell me what needs to be given in that moment, and they always deliver. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, good point. I'm not, I teach classes as well, but I don't have a teaching background as well, but that's basically what I do as well is just see what is going to happen, during
Yeah,
the class.
exactly.
I try to always have like a plan, like a
Hmm.
little, you're like, okay, I'm going to go through this, I'm going to go through this, but somehow or another, it always kind of goes out the window.
It does.
Maybe a subject matter comes up, then we can expand upon that. So there's that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brooke, where can people find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my Facebook is Mediumship with Brooke Ashley.
Mhm.
There's a dash in between Brooke and Ashley, but Mediumship with Brooke Ashley. And then my website is mediumbrookeashley.com. No spaces or anything like that. So that's usually where you can find me.
Okay, great. Well, it was great talking to you and great
Thank
getting
you.
to know you a little bit more.
Thank
So,
you, Kim. This was wonderful. I appreciate you.
oh, no problem. Thank you. Okay, bye, everybody.